This video is sponsored by BankX. BankX is fundamentally changing the legacy banking system by giving you the power to create currency and earn interest. The BankX ecosystem consists of two main coins, which are the BankX Silver Dollar and the BankX Token. The BankX Silver Dollar is the first cryptocurrency stablecoin where you own the collateral, create currency, earn interest, leverage, and stake for higher yields. The BankX Token is a utility token used to buy, mint the stablecoin, and stake into a certificate deposit. BankX has decentralized every aspect of the banking system where you create any amount of passive income you like. Check out BankX at bankx.io. This video is sponsored by Love. Love is a hot new cryptocurrency launching on the Pulsechain. The decentralized project will be targeting three main fields, which are e-commerce, microtipping, and decentralized payments. Love is developing a decentralized marketplace that offers a wide variety of products from perfumes to designer clothes and offers cashback in cryptocurrency. If you want to learn more about this hidden altcoin gem, check out Love at love.io. What is up, guys? Welcome to the Verse Crypto channel, the most savage and degenerate crypto channel out there. My name's Khaos Kris, and I'll be your host today. Before I hop this video, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, and turn on bell notifications so that I keep you guys up to date with the latest, greatest news and information within the space. With that being said, let's hop right in this video. As always, I got another banger of a live stream for all you degenerates. Today, we're going to be talking about PEPE, the Pulsechain Ecosystem, and all the juiciness behind what's going on with richardheart and other top news. And at the end of this live stream, I have one question for every single one of you viewers. Will PEPE 10,000x on Pulsechain? And that is an extremely hot take, because if you guys saw the title of my video, this is something that's been all over Twitter. The Hex community / Pulsechain community is divided. Some people like these PRC-20 token copies. Others do not like it whatsoever. Some influencers went from calling them scam / meme coins to legitimate tokens. So there is so much to unpack here. And because there's so much of a controversy, this motivates me even more to jump in and start talking about it. So before we get into the meat and the cheese of this video, let's take a look at what's happening in the markets. So let's go over to screen share real quick. Now, taking a look at Bitcoin, as most of y'all know, I have extremely bullish prediction behind the price of Bitcoin going on towards the end of the summer. I'm still keen on us hitting that 35 to 40K mark. Now, some things that are going to hold it back, that price prediction, or also determine if the price is going to explode, is the expectation of an ETF launching for Bitcoin. Now, without getting too far in the weeds of what an ETF is, because I don't want to spend 10 minutes going into this, all it is really is it's just an investment fund where you have a company or a corporation, whatever, owns a bunch of Bitcoin, and then they put out stocks on the stock market. And when you buy the stock market, you own a share of that ETF. And so the stock will be directly tied to the Bitcoin holdings. Now, there's speculation that there's going to be other types of ETFs from, maybe investments in Chainlink oracles, layer ones, a whole plethora of products. But the main one is the Bitcoin one. And so far, BlackRock, MicroStrategies, all these big ETF investment funds, hedge funds, are trying to get something passed through the federal government to launch on the stock market. Now, there's a little bit of a pushback, and there's speculation that the current ETF approval for BlackRock was rejected / delayed, and now there's going to be a resubmittal. So we're not really sure how this is going to play out. And that's part of the reason why we're seeing this massive green candle on the daily. And let's switch over to the 4-hourly real quick. So on the 4-hourly, we're basically trading sideways. We're having a little bit of uptrend. We are going above that original. Well, we're getting close to testing that local all-time high. And so with the news and all the excitement coming around, this definitely adds value to my other prediction that we're probably going to get up to 35K between 40K. And so definitely take a look and look at your investments. And if you're trying to get into some altcoins, this might be a great time to get in. But once you start to see Bitcoin get right around that range, there's a good chance that, you know, we're going to see some downside from that point. And that's when you want to start taking profits and start making moves so that you don't destroy the spending power behind your crypto portfolio. So overall, we're still in this uptrend from the claimed Bitcoin bottom. As most of y'all know, majority of the influencers think that we have bottom on Bitcoin. I know BitBoy Crypto does, and the other big names, and you can kind of see here, it looks like a bottom. But, you know, you never know. There might be a black swan event. Something might happen right around the election. So I always encourage everyone to have some dry powder ready, especially going on to the bull market. And you never know, you might have a couple stable coins on the sideline that you never use, and you might be able to use for trends forecasting when you're trying to find the next big thing to pop in the next bull market. So overall, everything's looking pretty bullish right now. Haven't seen anything go down towards the downside yet, and I'll continue to monitor this going on to the future. Now, moving on, let's take a look at the markets. Everything's in the green today. We got Filecoin 19.5%, the Graph AI coin 16.3%, Maker big with a awesome stable coin that has done extremely well, some at 17.5%. Sui sitting at 4.7%. A lot of people have been attacking this blockchain, and I did a great live stream covering what Sui is and all the products within that ecosystem, and there's a good chance that it could be a winner. But also keep in mind, there's going to be a couple token releases in about 9 months, so I'm not sure how the price of this token will perform overall, but right now might be the best time to get in. Not financial advice, but please keep in mind you want to have a profit taking strategy. Now, moving on, we got Aave looking really good. Believe it or not, Aave has actually been doing great on the Pulsechain with his Pulsechain copy. Richard Heart has been pushing it through the PulseX yield farms, which we're going to actually cover in the majority of this video. Pulsechain looking pretty good. We'll cover that in a minute. Now, let's go on to the top 200, and let's see if there's any big moves. Now, the Bone token, which is actually going to be the main token in the Shibarium Layer 2 blockchain, has been on the upside the past month. We're up at about 34%, bottomed out at 68 cents. There was some drama behind the Shiba Inu community because Shibarium was forking and another Layer 2 protocol, literally code for code, and a massive amount of concern, a huge amount of drama, but it seems like they might clear it up. So this is something I definitely want to look at. Fetch AI, another phenomenal AI coin. They do a lot with digital AI avatars and trying to find ways to automate daily life processes on the blockchain. Really great coin to be looking at, especially for AI moment. IODEX. This is really cool. They're really big into the Internet of Things. They're trying to put mainstream appliances on the blockchain. So if you have a vacuum cleaner, it can be run through blockchain technology that's connected through the internet and the whole 9 yards. So definitely a lot of great stuff. PulseX doing some great moves. This is a DEX I'm extremely bullish on. We've been trading sideways for a minute. Some major Pulsechain / PulseX / Hex influencers have been selling it and fudding it, but we are here on the Verse Crypto channel. Love Richard Heart products, and I'm not a big fudder of the PulseX right now. I am extremely bullish, and this is a great time to be dollar cost averaging in. Now, moving on, let's just take a look at what's going on in the Pulsechain ecosystem. So, Pulsechain doing pretty all right. It's just below the sacrifice line, and so if you want to get into Pulsechain, this is a great time to get in before the sacrifice price and sacrifice amounts. Since it's dipping down a little bit, we're probably going to see a major move to the upside. I've seen this with so many coins, from Optimism to other projects that launched in the bear market. And so now that, let me bring up this chart. Hopefully this will load. Internet's not really doing too well right now, but let's make sure this loads up. All right, cool. So As we start to see this price of this token dip down, we're probably going to reach a point where there's going to be a trend reversal. And what I mean by a trend reversal, you see all these crypto day traders, they always draw like trend lines, and they try to look at if it's going in the positive direction or the negative direction, and that's how they do their analysis. So from the bottom, overall, we have a pretty positive since the start of launch and price discovery. Since we hit the top, it's been fairly negative for the most part, but we also have been trading sideways at this point. So overall, if we just take a look from here, from the top to where we're at right now, we're actually sitting down at 66%, which means that since we've been trading sideways at this level for so many times, I would think that going on to the future, we could see a push to the upside. And if you look at the bottom, well, I can't really see it, but at the bottom here, it shows the volume. And the past couple weeks and past couple days, we have seen an increase in volume with Pulsechain. And so now that we're seeing a lot of big news in the Pulsechain ecosystem, there's a good chance that while Bitcoin hits that 35 to 40K mark towards the end of the summer, Pulsechain might follow it. We might see anywhere between a 5 to 10x and then another push towards the downside. So like I've said before, this is a great time to dollar cost average in on any of the Richard Heart Pulsechain ecosystem projects. PulseX, this is the project that I am extremely bullish on. From the start, I always talked about how the deflationary component of PulseX is going to be a huge game changer, especially with the decrease in the overall token supply. And so right now, this was from a trend line I drew a little bit. We are sitting at about a 78% downside, but a lot of Pulsechain tokens have been burnt. And if I go back here, does it give me the amount? So yeah, we've had over 221 billion PulseX tokens burnt. And if you look at the forecast, there's a good chance that by the end of this year, we could have anywhere between 1 trillion to 1.5 trillion PulseX tokens burnt. Now, that's just more of a trends forecast. It all depends on the how this project does in the future, how many people use the exchange, and et cetera, et cetera. But ultimately, the main point I'm trying to get across is as more of these tokens are burned at a rapid rate, we're going to see the supply of PulseX go below Pulsechain a lot quicker. And this is going to cause what I call the PulseX flippening, where with the decrease in the overall token supply, PulseX will appreciate much quicker than Pulsechain. Moving on, we have incentive tokens sitting at $5.86. My original bottom was $10. I moved it down to $2. I firmly believe that during this $2 to $10 consolidation period is when you should be getting in. Now, if you look right here, we have a couple green candles going on. Well, let me move this up a little bit. Let's see if they'll, yeah. So you guys can see what I'm looking at. So we have a couple really good green candles, and then we had a little bit of a sell-off. Now that everyone's selling off incentive token and there's so much FUD, this actually makes me more bullish because typically you need to be doing what you need to be doing the opposite of what retail and what everyone else is doing. So ultimately, the point I'm trying to get across is now that everyone's fighting it, this might be a good time to get in. And just like with the rise in the Pulsechain price, you might see incentive token follow that same trend. So ultimately, I'm still bullish on the incentive token. It was a little bit expected that the price was going to go down. I did call the top of this and whatnot. And then Hex is always a good play. I think Hex is going to be the biggest play going on to the future, and we might see a price appreciation because there's so much slaughter behind Hex. Now, coming over to primary screen, let's see if we got any questions or anything else going on. All right. So we got Phil Z. Quite frankly, that would be splendid. Yes, sir. It would be great to see if PEPE does a 10,000x on the Pulsechain. Ultimately, you know, there's a lot of mechanics behind this, and I know that Richard Heart has been really pushing up, which is what we're going to get into the remaining of this video. Now, moving on. So, what's going on in the Pulsechain ecosystem right now? Let me get some water before I get into this next bit. So for the past couple of weeks, we saw a decrease in the Pulsechain volume. So we had this initial phase where I call, well, Rags to Riches was the one who came out with this. It's called the Great Divorce, where we had a huge split between the Hex ecosystem based projects and then a few other projects coming over to Pulsechain. And we started to see this massive movement of liquidity and products go from the Ethereum blockchain to the Pulsechain blockchain. And when this happened, the volume on Pulsechain went up. We got a lot of PulseX tokens being burned. A lot of people were excited. And then over time, we started to see a decrease in volume. Now, yesterday and the day before, we've only had about $4.4 million worth of volume going on PulseX. And this is something my boy Adam from Vibrant Finance really highlighted on in our live stream on Saturday night on his channel, which every single one of you guys need to check out. So because of this, Richard Heart has been making some strategic ecosystem moves to increase the volume on Pulsechain and PulseX, and also to onboard new users into the Pulsechain ecosystem. And so one of his first moves that he did, I'll do a screen share, was he added here, I'm going to do this just so you guys can see it. Let me do this just so it's easier visible. So he added a PEPE from Ethereum, PEPE LP, and then a PEPE Wrap Pulse LP. Now, with this move, and also in addition, you're getting about 13% and 46% APR, and both have at least about $500,000 worth of liquidity. So with this move, what he did was he tweeted this out and said, hey, if you got PEPE on Ethereum or you have your PRC-20 copy of PEPE, it exists on Pulsechain. You should come over, check it out, and use it. Now, the response to this action caused a massive outrage in the entire community. So a lot of people were upset. They were angry. They were saying, like, why is Richard Heart promoting S coins? And I'm not going to say the name. I don't want to get this demonetized. Why is Richard Heart promoting these other projects? It feels like a betrayal. Now, this all started with what happened with Wrap Bitcoin and the pairing with the Wrap Bitcoin from Ethereum, and also the Wrap Bitcoin from Pulsechain, and also Wrap Bitcoin with Wrap Pulse. And what Richard Heart is doing is he's strategically targeting communities and saying, like, hey, if you guys want to come over and use the Pulsechain ecosystem, you can. In addition, you have PRC-20 token copies of your favorite ERC-20 tokens. You should come over and swap for them, use them, check out the Pulsechain ecosystem. And so this is a way to onboard new users. And typically, if you can get new retail traders from other ecosystems to come over and use Pulsechain, there is a high % chance that they're going to stay on the Pulsechain. I don't know the psychology or the maths or whatever. This is just my opinion. And typically, from my past experience, anytime I use a new blockchain, I always come back and end up using it. A great example, Telos and Uniswap. Telos is a new layer 1 blockchain not a lot of people are talking about. I did some yield farming for some high APRs with the DEX, and I occasionally go on to that layer 1 blockchain. I use the projects, especially if I want to buy a token, and the gas fees are outrageous on one blockchain. I'll go buy it on the Telos blockchain. And so this is the same thought process Richard Hart's doing. Since he implemented this strategy, we saw the volume PulseX skyrocket, and it's actually working. We've also seen PEPE trending on Twitter, and more users are getting it into PEPE Pulsechain. I've seen Twitter accounts pop up and say, PEPE Pulsechain watchlist, or PEPE from Pulsechain promotion. I've seen so much going on, and the PEPE community is a meme coin, and part of the meme coin community is really getting on the social media marketing engagement. And so everything that Richard Heart is doing is working out extremely well. Now, I want to point out some tweets before I get into my overall analysis of all the stuff being said. So, for example, Richard Heart has a tweet saying there is 651 million bridge, 64 million in validators, 338 transactions, over $58 million in volume, which is a lot higher than what we saw the past couple days. And then scrolling down, so here's the main tweet. The PEPE community spits in your face while you try to help them. PEPE, anyone have any counter examples? So kind of scrolling down, and then here's another one. PEPE, do you prefer to buy the one that went up 100% today or 1%? So overall, there's a lot of difference between the negative and positive feedback. He started off saying that, hey, PEPE users, do you want the one that's going up really quickly, or the one that's barely goes up? And it's based on how much liquidity is in each token pairing. Obviously, the PRC-20 token copy is going to be a lot less than the ERC-20 token copy, but this is all part of marketing strategy. And then going up here, the PEPE community spits in your face while you try to help them. PEPE, anyone have any counter examples? And so, what's this one? We prefer the real one on the chain. Thanks for the free 55 ETH tonight. Sorry for putting the top in. PEPE fan. Okay, so I guess there's some beef between the PEPE community. So, ultimately, my overall analysis of what this is and also what this is the start of is, so, of course, he's targeting new communities and all these Hexicans and Pulsechain OGs with their names in their bios or whatever. They're all upset because Richard Heart is doing marketing for the community and he's trying to bring more people onto the Pulsechain. Now, it sucks a little bit because, you know, I would think more people will be cheering this on because with this strategy, this is our best chance to get more people using the Pulsechain blockchain. The Pulsechain isn't going to be successful unless people use it. We need more projects to launch on Pulsechain. We need more tokens to bridge over from Ethereum to Pulsechain. And so ultimately, the main point I'm trying to get across is this is going to be a phenomenal opportunity to really get out and engage and bring people over. Now, you saw one of two tweets. One was extremely positive. The other one was negative. Of course, you're always going to get someone that is going to take advantage of the situation and make the entire community look bad. But I think overall, a majority of PEPE owners are interested in what's going on. And so what I see this being the start of is PRC-20 tokens are going to hit a very similar price to their ERC-20 token copies. And in the future, when the bull market is in full scale, we're going to see some of these PRC-20 token copies do anywhere from a 5x to as high as maybe 1,000x. And maybe some of them will do a 10,000x. That is not out of the realm of possibilities. But I firmly believe that we will see these PRC-20 token copies paired up with the ERC-20 token copy that's bridged over from Ethereum and then used to earn fees and also add value to PulseX as a way to rein in the Pulsechain dominance over the Ethereum blockchain. And seeing what Richard Heart did was he kicked off a new trend where anytime we're going to see a pop in an ERC-20 token where we see a token go from 10 million to like, I'll say like $1 billion, we're going to see the PRC-20 token copy do the same exact thing. And this obviously this token has to be pre-Pulsechain launch. There's going to be projects that are going to launch after, and there's not going to be a PRC-20 token copy. But ultimately, this is going to be a phenomenal opportunity just for this bull market. And the next bull market, that might change a little bit, but this is part of the reason why I'm so bullish on some of these PRC-20 token copies, because if they can create this correlation and add this utility that not all the other Pulsechain influencers are seeing, this could be huge for Pulsechain. And this could also be another thing that could push Pulsechain to appreciate much faster than the entire Ethereum blockchain. And so that's part of the reason why I'm so bullish on this. And so in my opinion, going on to the future, we're going to see more of these tokens put on yield farming pairs on Pulsechain, and it's going to be based on the size of the community, how much money is in each project, and what's the utility behind the project. And so if you have a large community and your meme coin, that's going to be very attractive to Richard Heart and his development team. If you have a project that has a pretty good sizable community, lots of really great utility, but also has the potential to launch on Pulsechain, we'll probably see the same exact process. So in this video, what I really want to do is I want to cover how to find these types of PRC-20 token copies. And then I also want to show you guys which ones I think are going to be put in a yield farm pair on PulseX so that you can get into this train of thought and start finding ways to look for these next tokens to pop. Because if you've been viewing my live stream, if you've been viewing Vibrant Finance live stream, we have been covering this like crazy. And now that it's happening, a lot of our followers have been doing extremely well. I have gotten DMs from people saying like, thank you for telling me about each and every single one of these PRC-20 token copies. I have a YouTube short on my YouTube saying that I think PEPE is going to get up to a $40 million market cap. And it did when the announcement of that yield farm came across. So the point I'm trying to get across is this is going to be extremely important live stream, especially if you want to get into the degen plays. Now, please keep in mind, do not bet your entire crypto bag on these plays. These are very high risk situations. And so I go with the $100 rule. Throw $100 at this coin, throw $100 at that coin, throw $100 at that coin. Because if you hit a 10x, that can basically give you $1,000 and you can take profit. And so this is a great way where you can take profit, earn more Pulsechain tokens, build your Pulsechain bag. Because if you take your profits, put it into Pulsechain, and then once Pulsechain starts to pop, you're definitely going to be that much closer to financial freedom and retirement, and also to a lifestyle where you can do what you want and not have to go to a 9-to-5. And that's the goal everyone wants to have. I don't care what anyone says. If you're saying you have another goal outside of that, I probably won't believe you, except for maybe like 10% of people. So cool. So now let's double check, make sure we don't have any questions or anything. My boy Trey Souls is here on the live stream. Shout out to Trey Souls, greatest video editor, my best friend, really great guy. Cool. So no questions. So let's get rocking and rolling into the next bit. So kind of starting off on this screen share. Now, what we want to do is we want to look at existing Pulsechain pairings and look for the top ERC20 tokens that could possibly be listed on PulseX on the PulseX yield farm, so we can earn incentive token, and also we can be ahead of the curve of the crowd. If you got into PEPE, if you got into Bitcoin, if you got into Aave, those calls have already happened, and there's a good chance they might do well going on to the future. But in the very short period of time right now, they're probably not going to be plays. And so you can see here, Chainlink token doing extremely well, $60 million market cap. It popped up 12% in 24 hours, and so we saw a massive green candle. Now moving back. Going down, we have Dogecoin. Dogecoin has the ERC20 token copy as well. Big community, a lot of people are excited about. We saw another pop. People are already getting into this stuff and already making speculative buys. We have Bone Shiba Swap, another big one that we're starting to see a little bit of price appreciation. There is some news on Shibarum, and because of that news, we're starting to see Bone appreciate with the PRC20 token copy as well. So this proves my thesis of the correlation between the ERC20 token copy and the PRC20 token copy. Now, another place that you guys can go is you come over here to CoinGecko. CoinGecko has categories that you can look at. You can look at Polkadot ecosystem. You can look at Pulsechain ecosystem, Polygon. There's a whole plethora of categories, and you just come over to categories, click it, and you can see everything. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to mainly focus on the Ethereum category. And so let's go over here to page uno. So starting off, the tokens that we're going to be looking for on the PRC20 token side are the ones that are sitting in this about, I'll say, top 100 to 200, maybe a couple of 300. So I'm talking about coins that can be anywhere from Shiba Inu to Aave to Render to Immutable X to Decentraland to Axie Infinity, whole 9 yards. So to start off with this first PRC20 token copy, this token is one of the first decentralized exchanges to launch in the blockchain space. They had a massive airdrop for all wallet holders for Ethereum. And if you still own that airdrop, you did significantly well. And in the past bull market, we saw a massive price appreciation behind this token. In addition, this token has been expanding to new blockchains. It has been implementing new approaches to tokenomics, maintaining the price of their overall token, and has also done extremely well with the decentralized movement. And the name of that token is Uniswap. And for those guys who don't know, Uniswap is the #1 decentralized exchange on Ethereum. This past bull market, we saw the Uniswap price get up to about, I would say, about $55 billion at the peak of its price. And then it crashed down to approximately $3 billion. So now if I come over here to Uniswap and type that in, we'll just do a little bit of analysis. I don't really want to go in deck screener. So looking at the max, it was sitting at about 365. The market cap is at $4 billion. And then I believe there is I wonder if, yeah, here you go, market cap. So, oh, excuse me, it didn't get up to 50 billion, my bad. It was actually closer to 22 million. I lied, my bad. So it's 22 billion, so I was half right. So we saw this token get up to that $22 billion market cap, and there's a good chance that it could skyrocket past it because of the amount of transactions it's done in the past. It's on the Polygon blockchain, it's on the Ethereum blockchain, it's now on Binance Smart Chain, eHarmony, Arbitrum One, Sora, Energy, a whole plethora of blockchains. So the buying power behind this token is extremely high. And since it has connection to a lot of these other big blockchains, there's a good chance that this could be a play going on to the future. Now, if I come over here to Deck Screener, and let's just take a look at the Uniswap. So, was it Uni/Wrap Pulse? So taking a look at it right now, we saw a little bit of a pop and it's sitting at about 3 cents. And since then, I've been talking about this PRC-20 token a lot. We saw appreciation and now it's spitting down. Now, the reason why I really love Uniswap is based on the fact that this project can easily launch on Pulsechain. It could easily set up liquidity pools and start doing business on Pulsechain. And when that happens, there's a good chance that we might see some interoperability component going on to the future. Because ultimately, with these decentralized exchanges, the way they're going to survive is if they go multi-chain and continue to grow their business. And so the reason why Uniswap right now is my #1 pick for the PRC-20 token to be listed on the PulseX exchange is that going on into the future, we are going to possibly see Richard Heart put a carrot on the stick, dangling from the Uniswap development team and say, hey, we've got these PRC-20 token copies that are doing really, really well. We have a bunch of tokens from Ethereum being bridged over to Pulsechain. Why not do business over here so that you guys can earn transaction fees off those swaps and do really, really well? And so based on what I'm seeing with this price chart, let's see, it's going up in a positive uptrend right now. And we're sitting at about a $31 million market cap. And so I could easily see the price of this token doing like about a 10x. So 30 cents for the Uniswap token and maybe get up to about 45 cents before going back down. So my price prediction right now is about 30 to 45 cents. And I also think this will most likely be the next token to have a pairing on PulseX, and I'm thinking Uniswap and Uniswap from Ethereum, and then Uniswap paired up with Pulse. So that is going to be your first PRC-20 token that could potentially 1000x and also be launched on the PulseX yield farming. Now, for your second PRC-20 token that you need to know about, this is a AI funded project, and the main goal of this development team is to basically bring AI to the blockchain and develop a artificial intelligence system that can automate some of the most high intensive labor jobs all across the world. And their goal is to use blockchain as a way to keep it autonomous, decentralize, and also bring in the AI revolution and also the machine learning industry. And the name of this token is SingularityNET. And for you guys who don't know, SingularityNET is a ERC20 token copy. An ERC20 token, and it's also a Cardano token as well. And this past bull market, we saw the price of this token do extremely well when ChatGPT came out. And I'm pretty sure it went from a couple million to a couple billion really, really quick. So right down here, it was sitting at about 4 cents. And then let's just take a look at the market cap. So it was like about 48 million, and then it got almost up as high as 500,000. So you guys can already see the power behind this token, how quickly it moved and how much of a popularity it was. So it almost did like a 10x, and now is breaking down to this consolidation period. Now, the reason why I like SingularityNET is because AI is going to be one of the most important industries in blockchain and cryptocurrency. Number one is going to be interoperability and blockchain communication. Number two is going to be AI. AI is the future right behind blockchain communication. And because this is going to be the future, a large community is going to get behind a lot of these AI tokens. We saw Singularity do a 10x in the bear market. Just imagine what it's going to do in the next bull market. There's a good chance this thing could very well 100x and get up to maybe $30 billion. Now, the reason why I like this one is, in addition to it being on the Ethereum and Cardano blockchain, it's on the Pulsechain. And I'm going to bring it up right now, and we'll do a price analysis real quick. We'll do AGIX and wrap pulse. So screen share. So this token pairing was wasn't recent, currently. It was made in May, and so we had a massive peak at 4 cents, dipped down to about a penny, and now not a penny, 0.001, and now it's at 0.003. So it actually did a 3x. And this liquidity pairing it's extremely low, but ultimately what I think is going to happen is this is going to be another token that's going to be targeted by Richard Heart. He's going to be looking for the top projects in each industry. AGIX is one of the top AI coins in this industry, and if he basically really puts it on the PulseX yield farming, that's going to push more AI blockchain developers to consider using the Pulsechain, and also push more people in the community to come over and use the Pulsechain. Imagine having AGIX bridge from Ethereum on the Pulsechain when it does 100x. That will be astronomically huge for the Pulsechain when it comes to burning Pulsechain, burning PulseX, and also a rapid price appreciation behind both of the tokens. And so I firmly believe that, AGIX is definitely going to be a 100x gem, even though it's at $300 million right now. And if Pulsechain can position itself to be the main basket to hold this golden egg and hatch it during the peak of the bull market, we will see absolute numbers when it comes to building the community on Pulsechain. And that is why AGIX is your number 2 PRC-20 altcoin gem. Now let's go over and make sure we don't have any questions or anything going on. So cool. A couple y'all are watching it. Definitely love the support. Please consider subscribing and hitting that like button. Now, moving on to your third PRC-20 token gem. So this project has done a lot of work with the metaverse space. It was one of the first metaverse projects to launch, and definitely did absolute awesome numbers in the past bear market. And we have seen this project build out an extremely large community. We've seen a product that was promoted, especially within the cryptocurrency and the gaming space. And the market cap of this token has absolutely exploded, especially on Ethereum. Now, we saw some downside with this project, especially with the type of product we're looking at, and also with some challenges behind being on the Ethereum blockchain. And so the name of this project is Decentraland. And for those guys who don't know, Decentraland, it is an it is a metaverse based project. Essentially, you can go in, create your own little digital avatar. You can go complete missions, earn tokens, and basically it's just like a free open source video game. And since the bear market, they have been building their community. They have been adding new products. They have been improving the overall user experience. And this isn't a token you should take lightly, even though the graphics aren't so up to par, because typically when it comes to an AI token, you want something that has realistic graphics. But ultimately, because this is the first step, it has a first mover advantage, and it could be an absolute gem. Now, taking a look at Decentraland, so we'll take a look at Mana. So coming over here to Mana, it was sitting at about we don't want you at. So sitting at about 41 cents, and then if we do the max chart, it got up to $520, and then let's just take a look at the market cap. So the market cap of this token got up to about 6 billion, and now it's sitting at about 678 million. So essentially, in order for it to get to its original top, it needs to do approximately 100x. So the reason why I really like this token is metaverse is also going to be another important industry. It's not going to be as important as AI and, you know, blockchain communication, but when it comes to us interacting with the internet and the future of workforce and working from home, there's going to be a time where we will basically be, you know, going through these digital avatar bodies and basically working with colleagues and through the metaverse to do business meetings and all sorts of other stuff. And so the reason why I like metaverse is because this industry has been predicted to get up into anywhere between $2 to $7 trillion. Now, since it's an Ethereum based token, it also exists as a Pulsechain token. There is a PRC-20 token copy. And so if I come over here, let's see if someone created a pairing. So we do Mana and Pulse. So let's do a quick screen share. Now, starting off with this token, and then this is the PRC-20 token copy. It started off at price discovery at 0.00191 and then appreciated to almost 2 pennies, and now it's sitting down at 0.003663. And so we had a bottom, and we're 3x from the bottom. Now, in my opinion, based on this price chart, there's a good chance it could run. We haven't really seen any significant pops besides the beginning at price discovery. Now, as I've said earlier, metaverse is going to be another big trend. We're going to see a metaverse explosion in the bull market for a week, and then everyone else moves on to the next big thing. And because Decentraland has a huge community, they have over 1 million followers on Twitter, this will be another great token to add to the PulseX yield farming pool, because if we can get more members from this community to come over and bridge their mana tokens to the Pulsechain blockchain, it's going to add the value to Pulsechain. And so in my opinion, this is also going to be another big play going on to the future if you're into the PRC-20 token degen plays. Cool. So now, moving on. So this next token, it's a blockchain oracle. It's one of the first ones to launch in this space. You can find this token on every single blockchain. In addition to being the premier blockchain oracle, it has also gotten into the interoperability movement. They are finding ways to connect blockchains and basically compete against layer 0, X1, and all these other layer 0 / interoperability protocols. And the name of this project is Chainlink. Now, if those guys don't know, Chainlink, it is an oracle, and what an oracle is it allows for the blockchain to communicate with real-world assets. So if you need to figure out what the snowfall amount, the rainfall amount, the price of silver, or whatnot, basically the oracle can go into the internet, follow that price, and bring it to the blockchain so that it can interact with your protocol / token. Now, the reason why I really like Chainlink as the PRC-20 token copy isn't necessarily because you can basically get on every blockchain and they have partnerships with hundreds and hundreds of projects. It's mainly because this is going to be one of the first tokens to actually launch onto the Pulsechain. And if I come over here to Chainlink on CoinGecko, so type in Chainlink, you can see right here, you can get it on Genosis Chain, Harmony, Avalanche, Arbitrum, Phantom, Osmosis, and almost every single major blockchain. And so because it's so available on all these major blockchains, there's a good chance that Chainlink is going to be the first mainstream token to launch on the Pulsechain and also to offer its Oracle services and its interoperability services to the Pulsechain. And so based on that all alone, this is actually, even though I'm listing it as number 4, this is actually one of my more bullish picks right next to Uniswap because it just makes sense. And so if we come over here and we go over to link/rep pulse, we'll bring up the token pairing. And so as you guys can see already, this thing, holy cow, that is a massive green candle. I didn't even see that until right now. All right, well, you guys already see in real time, Chainlink price is absolutely popping. I think everyone likes my analysis. So right now it's sitting at $124 million with $87,000 worth of liquidity. Towards the start, it went up and then started trading sideways, and now it's appreciating extremely quickly. So as I've said with the other projects, this is going to be another community that Richard Heart can target because the name of the community is called the Chainlink Army. And if he can, push Chainlink to launch on Pulsechain, this might start an altcoin season on Pulsechain where we see more projects launch on Pulsechain. As of right now, it's OG hexagons, really small projects launching on Pulsechain, which is great. But ultimately, we need more of these mainstream projects to come onto the Pulsechain so we can use it as a massive marketing tool. And so, in my opinion, what I think what Chainlink will do is it's going to have a little bit of retracement. It's going to go back below $100 million. And then from there, we probably will see the price of this token get a little bit closer to a market cap of $1 billion. And we might see the price of this Chainlink token get anywhere from $1 to $5 going on to the future. And so I'm extremely bullish on this project. I would not buy it on a massive green candle right now. I would probably wait for it to fall, kind of like it did right here, and then buy it up. But also keep in mind, if Richard Heart comes out with a liquidity pool saying like, hey, if you're in the Chainlink community, you can also bridge over your Chainlink from Ethereum, pair it up with your PRC-20 token copy of Chainlink, and earn a massive amount of fees from the PulseX exchange and also earn incentive token. And so that is why Chainlink is your fourth PRC-20 hidden altcoin gem. Now, let's make sure we don't have any questions or anything. So, all right, cool. I'll just keep trucking along. So, going on, for your next project, this is a layer 2 scaling solution. It is one of the first ones. It did an absolute number in the past bull market. And so this layer 2 scaling solution exists on multiple blockchains. A lot of big corporations from Starbucks to Disney have actually been launching their technology and their NFTs on this blockchain. And I'm extremely bullish on the price prediction when it comes to Polygon and how it's going to overall perform the next bull market. Excuse me, I already just leaked the price, the name of the token. And so for your 5th hidden PRC-20 token gem, which I just leaked to you guys, it is Polygon. And so the reason why I really like Polygon is because we've seen Polygon do really well in the past bull market. If I come over here to Matic, so it got up to approximately, I would say, $2.08, and now it's sitting down here. The market cap is at $6 billion, and it's predicted that this sucker could get up to $60 billion, especially. And so it's definitely a larger, play, and it's a larger, higher market cap. But overall, there is a huge community behind this token. And so another great indicator of figuring out whether or not this token has a good chance of being added to the PulseX pool is if you come over here to the Twitter and just let the Twitter pop up. All you have to do is look at the amount of followers, and there's 107,000 followers on Twitter. And because there's such a large community, this is going to be a little bit more attractive for Richard Heart to bring in. And so because there is a ERC20 token copy of Polygon, now there's also a PRC20 token copy as well. And so if I come over here to Matic, and then I type in Rat Pulse, we saw a 30% price appreciation. And then kind of scrolling out a little bit, this project is actually doing extremely well. Wow, look at that. So many green candles. Dang, all the ones that I'm calling right now are actually blowing up. I wonder if a lot of people are watching this live stream. But ultimately, we have a $72 million market cap. $1 billion market cap is definitely in play. You know, that's like a 12x. And I firmly believe that Richard Heart and his team are going to be targeting the Matic community because, number one, they can definitely get more Matic tokens to be bridged over to the Pulsechain ecosystem. Number two, we're going to have this phase in Pulsechain where there's going to be so many transactions on Pulsechain and a lot of blockchain congestion that going on into the future, there's a good chance that we're going to see layer 2 scaling solutions launch that are going to launch in support of the Pulsechain blockchain. And so this is something we saw with Tomb Finance and Phantom. And Tomb launched Tomb Chain, and essentially it's very similar to the other two layer 2 scaling solutions, except the transaction approval is going to be on Phantom. And so kind of towards the end of this bull market, we're going to see a layer 2 scaling boom for the Pulsechain, where we're going to see a large amount of layer 2 scaling solutions launch onto the Pulsechain. And with Matic on the Pulsechain already, this might be a first mover advantage, and this might be an idealistic project for Richard Heart to target and bring that community on, because typically a lot of this community understands that Ethereum's not a great product right now, and there needs to be more assistance behind it. And essentially Pulsechain is very similar to what Matic is doing, and there can be a very awesome synergy between both these communities. So it just makes sense that it could possibly be one of the yield farms on PulseX. And that is why Polygon is your 5th and final hidden altcoin gem. So let's make sure we don't get any more questions. Don't want to look. Galvin, Link already dumped back down. All right, let's take a little look at it right now. So he said Link already dumped back down. So let's take a look at Link and Rat Pulse. So if I come over here and take a look at Link and Rat Pulse, well, this is the screen I'm looking at right now. We have a pretty nice little candle right here. So I'm not really seeing much of a dump down. I mean, dump down right here, I do agree with you. But as of right now, that's a pretty good positive price appreciation. So it could dump down going into the future. I do definitely agree, but ultimately it's actually looking pretty good. But I do firmly believe Chainlink, because it's the premier oracle, this is going to be a play, especially if it launches on PulseX yield farming. And so the point of this video that I'm trying to get across is you're trying to find the next PRC20 token that could launch on PulseX as a yield farm token for the incentive token. And we've already seen this happen with Rat Bitcoin. We've seen this happen with PEPE, and we're going to see this with more PRC20 token copies going on to the future. And if you can be there before the announcement, that is how you're going to make a massive bag. And so ultimately, I think Chainlink and all these bigger industry ones from metaverse to AI are the ones that you should be targeting, because ultimately they're more likely to be targeted by Richard Heart and his development team as a really great marketing tool. Cool. So, Galvin, not sure if you want to trade that. Seems risky. Well, I definitely do agree, man. I mean, all these coins are risky. You know, a lot of Pulsechain and Hex influencers are saying that, you know, they're like meme coins, which it's partially true, but it's partially not. There is a utility behind these PRC-20 tokens. Number one, it's an onboarding token. And then number two, it can be used for liquidity. And so, yes, they're extremely high risk. I do agree. But also, we've seen so many of these tokens that I went through today. They're doing really, really well because of this narrative going on to the future. And this is part of the reason why you want to consider having a watch list. Now, if this isn't your cup of tea, I completely understand. If you just want to hold Pulsechain, PulseX, Incentive, Hex, I completely get it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that strategy, but also keep in mind, I do go into some degen plays. So it's high risk, high reward. And ultimately, you know, this is something I like to do a lot. My boy Adam over at Vibra Finance, shout out Vibra Finance, he does this as well. And so that's the point I'm trying to get across. Al Pacquiona, hopefully I say your last name right. Where's the best place to see the liquidity for these PRC-20 tokens, please? Great stream. Hey, thanks, man. I do appreciate it. So, the best place to really look at this, your best place is going to be, ultimately, it's going to be Dex Screener. And so, if you come over here and let's say you want to do, let's just do PEPE/Wrap Pulse. And so if I come over here to PEPE/Wrap Pulse, and now it's kind of dumping down after the news, but you're going to see your liquidity right here, 601,000, and then you have 11.6 million, and then market cap's 11 million. And so here you can look at the liquidity and see how much is in there. The one downside of these PRC-20 token copies is that if it's not extremely liquid, then you might get hit with slippage. So I can completely understand if you don't want to get into some of these token pairs, because if I recall, I believe Mana and Wrap Pulse had extremely low liquidity. So yeah, so for example, this one has like a 10K for this pairing. And so I do understand if you don't want to get into this and get hit by slippage, that makes total sense. Or if you want to bite the bullet in speculation that it might do well, then, you know, by all means, but keep in mind that's not financial advice. So those are your best play spots. And the other thing you can do is you can come over to the Pulsechain Explorer and actually look at these liquidity pools there. And also you can look at it on PulseX. So there's multiple places you can go, but I will probably stick to Dex Screener for now. And please be careful with the pairings. Make sure you verify every pairing, because there are scammers trying to take advantage of the situation. So definitely please keep that in mind. Now let's go. We got any more questions? All right, so we got no more questions going on. So now going on to the future. I mean, excuse me. So for the next part of this, yeah, anytime Owl Pacquiona. I know I keep saying your name wrong, but it's a pretty cool name. So now we're getting close to about an hour in this live stream, and there's one other thing I want to talk about, and I want to talk about a new Pulsechain altcoin, and this actually caught my interest a little bit. And I do firmly believe a lot of these altcoins on Pulsechain are going to do extremely well, especially the ones with unique utility and also have a big built up community. And so this project is another decentralized exchange. They're doing a new approach to liquidity pools. They've actually been making some noise with their recent launch. And also, if you're in the Pulsechain and PulseX sacrifice, you might actually be able to claim free tokens. But please keep in mind, there is a time period, so you need to act really quickly, and I'll go over it extremely briefly. And the name of this project is PHux. And for those guys who don't know, PHux, it is a decentralized exchange. It's a different approach than PulseX. There are some similarities, but there are some differences, and the main differences are going to be in the liquidity pools. So we'll break that down really quickly. But if you guys want to check out PHux, come over to phux.io. I'm not going to lie, if you say the name together, you're going to say some other variation, and I'm probably going to get demonetized, so I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to call it PHux, and hopefully I'm saying correctly. So essentially what PHux is, It is a decentralized exchange, very similar to PulseX, and we'll go through the documents. But the main difference is you have these partial liquidity pools. So, for example, over here at RH Max, you can set up a liquidity pool where 40% of it can be wrap Pulse, 25% can be PulseX, 20% can be PHux, 10% can be wrapped Hex, and then 5% can be incentive token. And so essentially, when you add liquidity to all these liquidity pools, you have partial ownership of each of these tokens. Now, when you add liquidity, you can earn about, I believe it was approximately 60% of the fees will be sent to you, and then 40% of the fees will get paid out to token holders that are in the PHux, which is basically the staking protocol behind the exchange. And so, come over here to the docs. I just want to highlight some main features of the project, but I'm not going to go too deep in the woods. I'll just give you guys me and the cheese, and I'll let you guys do the research after that. So PHux is a fork of Bouncer V2, referred to as Pulse and Hex Universe Exchange. It is a programmable liquidity protocol and decentralized automated market maker built on Pulsechain and Ethereum. PHux serves as a versatile component for customizable liquidity solutions, offering a flexible building blocks for tolerable liquidity needs. And so that word salad, essentially what it's French for, you can do like an 80 to 20 coin ratio pairing. So you can do like 80% Hex, 20% Pulse. You don't have to do the 50 and 50 ratio. Now, how does it compare to PulseX? So PulseX is based on 50 to 50 pools. You don't have to do 50-50 pools. They're stable pools. So they use something called the curve stable swap protocol to limit impermanent loss. And what a permanent loss is, if you have one token paired up with another token into a liquidity pool, if one of those tokens were to rise and the other ones were to fall, some of those tokens in that liquidity pool will be sold off to balance out the liquidity pool. In conjunction of that happening, you can actually lose your spending power behind that pairing, and it results in permanent loss. That's part of the reason why when you add liquidity, they give you a rewards token that you can sell off as like a thank you for doing that. And so that's kind of like the price of DeFi. Now, going to LP staking, so staking allows you to earn PHux tokens. You can provide liquidity to the prime PHux pool. You gain voting rights. You'll earn 40% of the protocol fees if you're in the if you're staking your PHux tokens, and then the rest are sent to the LP incentives. So basically, the protocol payments are paid out to token holders. Uniswap takes a massive fee from all the transactions, and that's how they keep funding the business. PHux is completely decentralized. They have a community, and they basically get in there and essentially share the rewards from the protocol with the token holders, which I think every decentralized exchange needs to do. And so the best way to think of PHux is it's built off of PulseX, and it offers a wider range of products. It's a little bit better, but also please keep in mind the community is extremely small. So the price of this token might take a little bit of time to build out. Plus, it just launched, so there's a good chance that it might go down in the future. And so we'll do a price analysis in a minute. So going on into the tokenomics, there's a 10 billion fixed supply. 50% are going to be used through community LP incentives. So if you're an LP provider, they're going to essentially mint a lot of those tokens out to the liquidity pools, and then probably at the end of that massive mint event, you're just going to start earning fees off of transactions. 25% is going to an airdrop, and then 25% is going back to the team, which is pretty high, but it's just part of DeFi. So there was no public or private sale, no token value. Everything was launched. It's trying to be decentralized. And then the PHux team, it's basically a product from the Fiat team as well. And then airdrop. So this is the next big thing. So they had an airdrop for anyone that was in the Pulsechain and PulseX sacrifice, and I believe if you have over like $1,000 worth of each token, you're eligible for an airdrop. And then round two, if you're in the PLX pool, you can earn a good amount of PHux, Power City, Liquid Loans, PulsePot. If you're in any of these projects, you can also earn those as well. And so here's the details of the PLS and PulseX holders. Essentially, your amount has to be larger than $1,000, and you can come over here to the website and connect your wallet. And when you connect your wallet, you can come over here to the claim menu, and then from the claim menu, you can basically see if you're eligible for this airdrop. So my overall analysis of PHux, it's a great approach to decentralized exchanges. When you have different pools where you can have like 20% in one token, 20% in the other, it's basically the start of a new approach when it comes to ETFs. Right now, the ETFs are extremely corrupt. They're centralized, and there's a lot of gatekeeping, and it's very difficult for the little guy to set up an ETF. Now, what I like about blockchain and decentralized products is the fact that with all these tokens, you can set up your own little ETF using products within the Pulsechain ecosystem, earn fees off of it, and also maintain your investment spending power with its new approach to the protocol. And so I absolutely love this. And this is something we've seen with PancakeSwap. PancakeSwap is actually doing this, and Uniswap plans on doing it into the future. And I would bet my bottom dollar PulseX probably has this on the roadmap going down to when it comes to the innovation behind the protocol. And hopefully, if they don't, maybe they have interoperability or something like that. So ultimately, PHux has a one leg up on PulseX. In addition, everything's run through the token. The incentive token is great in theory, but ultimately, one of the biggest downsides of it is it takes volume away from the PulseX token. If we look at incentive token, at one point, there's I think maybe like $40 million worth of liquidity in that. Imagine that $40 million was in the PulseX token. That could be a huge game changer, but also keep in mind it's used to keep PulseX deflationary. So ultimately, my overall thoughts is I like PHux. It's a great approach to ETFs in the blockchain space. Now, the one thing that will be some challenges going on to the future. Number one, are they going to get into interoperability? Interoperability is going to be extremely important for DEXs to survive. Are they going to be launching on new blockchains? If they want this community to grow and they want to target new users, they're going to need to launch on other blockchains besides Pulsechain. And then number three, the LP pools and the yield farming for the tokens. Now, right now, all these products, if you go all the way down, is mainly, Pulsechain products. We have, I've seen Internet Money. I've seen the Texan token. I've seen all these other projects. And so they're definitely going for these smaller projects. Now, the DAO votes on what the yield is going to be for each of these pools. And they also determine what projects can be traded on the exchange, which is great because, number one, it's community run. But also keep in mind, what PulseX is doing, they're using the PRC-20 tokens as a marketing tool. And I'm not sure if PHux is going to be able to use PRC-20 tokens as a marketing tool to bring on new users. In addition, are they going to be targeting other projects? Because there's so much division in the Pulsechain and the Hex community. New projects are going to be launching left and right, and there might be a chance that there's going to be a political side to this process. And so projects like Love or Hocus Pocus or Raydex or these other small projects that are coming on to the Pulsechain might not get the opportunity to be on PHux, or I could be wrong. Keep in mind, this is a DAO. This isn't run by the developers, or it's not centralized. And so I would like to see what PHux launches on their blockchain, on their decentralized exchange, and those liquidity pools go on to the future. Because if they can get more new innovative projects in combination to PRC-20 tokens in these liquidity pools that can earn some PHux tokens, I think it's going to be extremely beneficial for not only this protocol, but the entire Pulsechain ecosystem. And so overall, I am bullish on this token. And actually, let's take a look at the price. I'm curious to see how it's doing. Maybe I'll do a price prediction right now. So right now, since launch, it's actually been holding up pretty well. It has a $44 million market cap. The liquidity is pretty low. And so it's at 0.008877. And so ultimately, what I think is probably going to happen is we're going to see a dip down in the price of this token. Now, and that might be about 2 to 3 weeks, and it just happens with every project. It comes with the territory. Now, going on to the future, if they're able to add some really targeted liquidity pools for different communities, I could very well see the market cap of this token get up to 500 million or get up to a 10x, a 10x appreciation overall. And so ultimately, I am definitely bullish on this token. But keep in mind, we also have 9inch launching, and we have other DEXs launching within this ecosystem. So there's a good chance that they're going to have some pretty big competition going on to the future. And so as some strategy behind the PHux token, if you guys are in Pulsechain, Hex, Fiat, any of these big projects that are really big within the ecosystem, you don't necessarily have to buy the PHux token. You just come into this liquidity pool, pair up all these tokens, put it in there, and just earn yield in that PHux token and use that as a profit mechanism to build your position, or maybe just hold the bag if you're bullish on PHux. And so a really great pool that I would probably be looking at, this one I believe has about 2 million. RH Maxi. So this is all the RH projects into one pool. I really wish they had eHex in here. That would actually complete it. But regardless, this is a phenomenal pool to get into. And, you know, the ratios on this are pretty great. You know, you definitely want some Pulse, PulseX, PHux, and Wrap. Oh, they do have eHex. My bad. So WrapTex and then Incentive Token. So ultimately, like pools like this could be a great place to store your value and also to earn yield off of your stored value. So I definitely think that's a phenomenal strategy if you don't want to get into the PHux. Or you can be a degen, go into prime PHux and just build that bag going across the board. So multiple strategies you can do, but overall, I'm definitely bullish on this project going into the future. So all right, we're going a little bit above an hour, so got to kind of wrap this live stream up pretty soon. Let's see if we've got any more projects. Any questions? So Owl, Jet Pool. Yeah, I know. I love it. Looks interesting. Yeah, man. You should definitely check it out. So cool. All right, guys. Well, I guess that's it for the live stream. We got no other questions. And so before I wrap this video up, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, and turn on bell notifications so I keep you guys up to date with the latest, greatest news and information within this space. My name's Khaos Kris. I love every single one of you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. This video is sponsored by BankX. BankX is fundamentally changing the legacy banking system by giving you the power to create currency and earn interest. The BankX ecosystem consists of two main coins, which are the BankX Silver Dollar and the BankX Token. The BankX Silver Dollar is the first cryptocurrency stablecoin where you own the collateral, create currency, earn interest, leverage, and stake for higher yields. The BankX Token is a utility token used to buy, mint the stablecoin, and stake into a certificate deposit. BankX has decentralized every aspect of the banking system where you create any amount of passive income you like. Check out BankX at bankx.io. This video is sponsored by Love. Love is a hot new cryptocurrency launching on the Pulse chain. The decentralized project will be targeting three main fields, which are e-commerce, microtipping, and decentralized payments. Love is developing a decentralized marketplace that offers a wide variety of products from perfumes to designer clothes and offers cashback in cryptocurrency. If you want to learn more about this hidden altcoin gem, check out Love at love.io.